Hello, my name is Peregrine, and yep, this is not a shitpost. I saw an advert for the Among Us TV show, and I was like, yeah, I've got time, so I watched it, and about midway through the first episode, it dawned on me that I was genuinely laughing. Not ironically laughing, I was genuinely laughing at it, and I was enjoying it. Because I clicked on it to be a hipster and be like the enjoying it ironically, like, shithead kind of guy. But no, I was just actually enjoying it. After the first episode ended, I instantly went into the second one because I wanted to see what was coming next, and even though it took a while, eventually I started to realise what it was that made it work. Put simply, the Among Us TV show is charmingly self-aware and unapologetically stupid, kinda like Smiling Friends. Although I do have respect for franchises that try and have a message with their storytelling, this would have been absolutely impossible to do correctly with a show like Among Us, as it will always be the game that 6-year-olds wear shirts of and get bullied in school for liking, and also one of those franchises like Poppy Playtime that get ugly broken Temu knockoff keychains being sold on random Somalian guys pushing carts around Manchester city centre. So instead of trying to make the show something it isn't, the writer, Owen Dennis, leaned into the inherent stupidity of trying to make a show about a streamer video game that doesn't have a story. Usually, IP owners get all uppity about their products, and writers try to force like hollow messages into their shows. Think something like Modern Simpsons or that Family Guy episode about Meg, trying to make a grandiose stand on social issues while abandoning the core identity of the show. Among Us just is a stupid show about beans people having gruesome and mildly amusing deaths. Owen notably uses very crass or in-your-face and fuck the audience type of humour, where the joke is either lowbrow or just idiotic in a very ironic sense that makes you roll your eyes as he nudges you metaphorically with his elbow and goes, "Ha, you laughed at that, you stupid child, I saw you laugh at that." Some examples of this include the title drop in episode 1, and the fact that Purple's pet fish also has a visor, and like the references to the game's nonsensical atmosphere where you stop a reactor meltdown by putting your hands on sensors, like that does anything. One massive advantage that the show has is that at the end of the day, it is the Among Us TV show. The flaws that the show does have are immediately thrown out of the window because remember that this is, in fact, the Among Us TV show. As an example, all the characters in the show are two-dimensional stereotypes of particular character archetypes. Orange is a corpo bootlicker, green is a country bumpkin, cyan is an astrology gem girly, and black is a cynical atheist. And some of them have little cute character arcs that they go on, but they aren't really properly explored as people or characters. But that's when the memory kicks in and you go, oh yeah, it's fucking Among Us. Every character has just the perfect amount of character for you to root for them, but you don't really care that much. But still, it does suck when one of them dies, because you're somewhat interested in them. And the show does a really good job of sharing the spotlight around the characters, where you can't predict who's going to die next, which is interesting because a lot of other killing game kind of shows, you can kind of tell who's going to die next. Like if you think about Danganronpa as an example, you know who's dying, you know who's going to live, and you know who's dying. With Among Us, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, obviously there's 3 main characters you can kind of see, but it's hard to know in which order these people are going to die, and it's kind of interesting the way they managed to do this with such a nothing burger of a concept. Like, they made a genuinely enjoyable show out of nothing. And I can't believe I'm saying this about the Among Us show, but the art direction and animation is genuinely incredible. Obviously the voice actors do a lot of heavy lifting, but the amount of work that goes into conveying emotions in art comes from good art with facial expressions, which is very difficult when your characters don't have mouths or eyes, or any discernible facial characteristics for that matter. However, the animators and artists did an incredible job considering these lack of features, using the visor as essentially one giant eye, and they're sometimes there, sometimes not hands. I thought that conveying emotions was going to be a bit difficult with this, but throughout the whole show, I didn't struggle to figure out what was going on or what emotion was being portrayed, even as an autistic guy. And believe me, this show has emotions. During the first time they vote off a crewmate, it gets weirdly intense and emotionally charged, to a degree where you seriously forget what you're watching. Like, the entire crew, from voice actors to music producers, put their whole pussy into making this emotional scene, but it gets instantly ruined by Green doing a stupid millennial writing joke where he's just going, any day now, any day now. It's like just saying the obvious that you don't need to say because the audience can see it. I hate that type of writing, but in this one particular area, it functions incredibly well because the joke isn't he's saying the obvious. The joke is you've now remembered that you're watching the Amogus TV show and you were feeling genuine emotions towards the fucking crewmate. The Amogus crewmate. You were feeling genuine emotions that one of them died. It's Owen pointing and laughing at me through the monitor, saying, bro, were you really getting invested in this fucking show? Really? Really, bro? It's an excellent use case of using the audience as the punchline, and it works really well, and the show just does that a lot. I really must give credit to Inner Sloth Studios because it seems to me that they were doing a lot of work with the show, and I speculate, not confirmed, but I speculate that the selection of Owen Dennis is probably on their end. Owen is a permanently underrated writer that the internet loves, but seems to be kind of blacklisted from Hollywood for reasons no one knows. For example, his breakout show, Infinity Train, was wildly popular online, but again, was canned by several different studios for reasons no one really knows. And he seems to get ignored a lot for other shows despite his very obvious talents. So it seems that the tight-knit and internet community literate Inner Sloth probably scouted him out to make a good show, to get his name back out there, since with Owen, it seems like only a matter of time before he creates a genre-defining cartoon. It feels less about an if and more of a when with this guy. Although, upon thinking about it, that is a lot of praise for the guy who made me watch Among Us characters have a drug-fueled orgy, because that was a real thing that happened. There is genuinely a 5-minute orgy scene in the Among Us TV show. I'm not joking. Look, do I think that this is high art that deserves an Oscar? No. But if you have an hour to yourself, and you want to giggle and kick your feet, and you want to feel anything other than all-consuming dread and self-hatred, I wholeheartedly recommend the Among Us TV series. It's a bundle of joy and genuinely seems like everyone who worked on it had a great time. I smiled a lot, I laughed a lot when watching it, and sometimes that's just what you need. Sometimes you don't need a story. Sometimes you just need a giggle, and you know what? It does that. It does that really well, actually. It's art that is made specifically to make you smile instead of like cause deep thinking. Like, no one has bad intentions or was just trying to print money. It's a very uncynical show, which is coming at a time where people are very cynical. So yeah, I do recommend this if you just want to have fun. And you could probably use a bit of fun right now, let's be honest. But regardless, thank you for watching. Bye bye. Love you. I've actually just had to pause rendering this video because while I was making the thumbnail, I found this by mistake. It's on Owen Dennis's Substack in 2023. It's an entire article about how he's going to make the Among Us TV show look. It's fucking incredible. Look at this, man. Look at this. That's so fucking good. The Who's really fucking sells it for me. Fucking let's go find that secret alien. This is God, this guy's so based. I don't know how you can fit so much based into one man before he actually explodes. I fucking love this guy. I am legally obliged to thank my eggs. Cameron Wilson fan, Cherry Balls, God Noodle, Lord Grecos, Persistent, Despair, Zoe, Gothic Dino, Slater Rex, and the Perhapsy. Thank you for your continued support.